All right, folks, I'm going to ask you to no more warming up. We have to make some announcements, and we also want to save our sounds for the concert, right?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, we can close the back doors. Everyone who's due in here who have a seat, please come in and have a seat. Take your seat. No standing around. No standing on the sides taking pictures. It is a fire hazard. Thank you. Ladies over there, I need you all to take your seat. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Okay, welcome back to the Palmer House for another year of TubaChristmas. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, I want you all to have a nice experience with these beautiful tubas. It looks like we have more this year than we had last year. So you all sit back and enjoy the show.
We're listening to Hopefully.
Hotel manager Henry.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Henry Dornellis, and I'm the hotel manager here at the Palmer House. However, I think by now you know who is really in charge, right? On behalf of the entire team, over 700 team members here at the hotel, who is part of everything we do every day, we welcome you. We thank you for being here at what I call a tradition at this point, right? This is the 52nd annual TubaChristmas, and yeah, absolutely, give yourself a round of applause. Quick history of the Palmer House. We are a hotel first. We were the first hotel to install electricity, electric lights. We were the first hotel to install the elevator, the telephone. And this one may be a shocker, but we also created and invented the brownie. Love the energy here today. Let's go. If you haven't tried, I recommend you stop by Lockwood Express on the way out and take a quick bite at history by trying our original brownie. That said, I don't want to be long, but I wanted to take the time just to welcome everyone. I'll leave you with this thought. In my opinion, the holidays, it's about tradition, family celebration, music, and stories as well. So I couldn't think of a better place, more fitting than this incredible location, ballroom, and the team behind to put this together for you today. Thank you for being part of this story, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and I'd like to add my welcome to all of you for joining us for TubaChristmas. My name is Colonel Michael Colbert. I'm the former director of the President's Own United States Marine Band. Perhaps more importantly for this event, I'm also a euphonium player. If I can bring you in the Marine Band. So TubaChristmas is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm so thrilled to be celebrating it here with all of you and all these wonderful musicians in this incredibly elegant ballroom, right? And we don't really feel like we're worthy of this beautiful space, but we greatly appreciate being here. So how many of you are here for your very first TubaChristmas? Can I see a show of hands? Great. Now, welcome to one of the most unique ways to celebrate the holiday season, and it's unique in a number of ways that I'll talk about as the event continues. But just to give you an idea how the music will be presented to you, we're going to play traditional Christmas carols for you. And for most of these carols, we're going to play them twice. We'll play them once so you can listen to the wonderful musicianship of the players behind me. And And the second time through, we encourage you to sing along. Now, not only am I going to ask you to sing, but I need you to sing with gusto, because as you might imagine, we've got 335 tuba and euphonium players. Yes. It's going to take a little bit of singing to keep up, right? So I want you to all remember the words of Buddy the Elf. And when he said, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Yes, absolutely. So I want to hear you all channel your Buddy the Elf in these carols. We're going to begin with the carol that Harvey Phillips, who was the creator of Tuba Christmas, he always liked to begin with this carol, Adeste Fidelis. And we offer it in honor of all of those faithful who keep coming back to Tuba Christmas year after year. This is O Come, All Ye Faithful. Number 3 is next, number 3. So I mentioned that Tuba Christmas is unique, and one of the things that makes it unique are the instruments that we play our Christmas music on. And I'll talk more in detail about that in a moment, but Harvey always liked to take advantage of these Tuba Christmases to explain a little bit about how brass instruments work. And there are two basic types of brass instruments. There are those that are primarily cylindrical, so the diameter of the bore doesn't really change over the course of the instrument until the very end. These are instruments like the trumpets and trombones that have a very bright, clear sound. And then there are the brass instruments that are more conical. So there's a very gradual taper in the bore of the instrument. And this means that these instruments have a much darker, warmer, kind of velvety sound. So these are instruments like the cornet and the flugelhorn, the horn, and of course the euphonium, which is also known as the tenor tuba in some countries, and the tuba. It's a much different kind of sound than you're going to hear from trumpets and trombones. Now, I want to commend you for your singing on that first selection. I thought it was fantastic, but I noticed that some of you were struggling with the lyrics a little bit. So we're going to make things a little easier in this next one, because 50% of the lyrics go like this. Fa la 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 la, la la la. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Deck the halls. remember that last note. We'll talk about this in a moment. So one of the things that most people associate when they hear the name tuba, they associate that with low notes. And absolutely, tuba players love playing low notes. In fact, when I was just a toddler, my brother, who was 10 years older, kept a sousaphone in his bedroom. He was a tuba player. And that was an instrument I really wanted to play. And my earliest memories were sneaking into his bedroom when I was probably 4 or 5 to crawl up inside that sousaphone and blow into the mouthpiece to hear this really big low note. So just as a demonstration, folks, I'm going to ask you tubas to play that last note from the previous carol one more time. This is that last low note, and play it like you mean it. Right, so we need to on the Richter scale, that would probably register, right? But tubas can do so much more than playing low notes. A tuba is every bit as qualified to play a melody as a violin or a flute or a trumpet. And so I want you to listen on this next selection, and you're going to hear those bass tubas playing the melody. This is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Number 5 is next. So I'm back to that word unique. And this time I'm going to apply it to something that you are used to seeing if you go to band and orchestra concerts and are generously offering your applause for the ensemble. Oftentimes you'll see those musicians take bows, right? Whether it's the soloist taking a bow, or the whole ensemble, or the conductor taking a bow. But we have a very unique way of acknowledging your applause here, because if I ask these folks to take a bow, a traditional bow, with all the heavy equipment we've got back there, that's just a lawsuit waiting to happen, right? So what we do instead, rather than me describe it, I'm going to ask the group to show how we take a bow for TubaChristmas. Can we see how we take a bow? Isn't that a beautiful sight, right? And of course, it affords you an even better opportunity to take a careful look at these beautiful instruments to see the tremendous variety that we have within the tuba world. We're now going to offer you the first Noel. Number 6 is next, number 6. So as you look around like the bands playing here in front of you, you may have noticed there's a pretty substantial age range. Excuse me, and that's one of the things we love about Tuba Christmas, is really you're never too young or too old to celebrate Tuba Christmas. We have 3 individuals here who are 10 years old. I'd like to acknowledge them. Simon Novak, Aiden Grayson, and Beowulf Patton. Can you please stand, our 10-year-olds? Tuba Christmas, but I bet it's not their last Tuba Christmas. And I'd also like to acknowledge our senior most member, and that is Willard Dulabaum, who is 89 years young. Willard. Recognized for several Tuba Christmases as being our most senior member. And Willard, we're looking forward to next year already, so come on back. Our next selection is Good King Wenceslas. This is number 6. Number 6. Number 9 is next. Number 9.
One of these days, I'm gonna drop the tuba. It's gonna hit the person behind me.
So as you heard, this is our 52nd annual Tuba Christmas. Our first Tuba Christmas happened in 1974. It was the brainchild of Harvey Phillips, who had the idea of paying homage to his teacher and a great tuba pedagogue, Bill Bell, who was born on Christmas Day. That very first Tuba Christmas took place on the skating rink of Rockefeller Center in New York City. And now it happens in countries around the nation and around the world. Some of those celebrations are large, like the one you're seeing here. Some of them are quite small. In my home state of Vermont, we do a Tuba Christmas every year in Burlington, Vermont, and we get 30 to 40 players. But I can promise you they're every bit as enthusiastic as the 335 that you see here in the ballroom. We're going to continue now with It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to mention. This is why it's good to have notes. One of the things that I love about Tuba Christmas is that we often get honorary tuba and euphonium players who ordinarily play other instruments, but somehow find a tuba or euphonium, borrow one from a friend, hopefully they acquire it through legal means, but they have a euphonium or a tuba that they bring to the event to join us for these Tuba Christmases. So I'd like to ask anyone who's not generally a tuba or euphonium player, please raise your horn so we can see who you are. One of the things I love about tuba euphonium players is that we're always welcoming and eager to have other people join us for Tuba Christmas. So now we will play a game of Along the Midnight Clear. Number 26 is next. So I told you that there's a tremendous variety of instrument shapes and sizes within the tuba community. One might almost guess that they were designed by Dr. Seuss, right? They just got kind of some of them just a fantastical kind of shape and quality. So I want to point out some of the different types of instruments that are all part of the tuba family. So I will name these one by one and ask the players to raise the instruments up so you can see them. First of all, we're going to start with our bass tubas. Our bass tubas in C, the key of C. See those? Some really big instruments. And now, bass tubas in B flat. If you've got B flat tubas, hold those up. And now we're going to work our way up size-wise into the smaller instruments. Now the E flat, E is in Edward. E flat tubas, thank you. And the bass tubas in F, the key of F. You can see those, great. Now can I see euphoniums, all the true euphoniums up there. And now baritone horns, Wonderful. And we have the alto horns here. Okay, thank you. And now we're going to move on to the sousaphones, named after my favorite composer, sousaphones. Now, in addition to the regular sousaphones, we've got an extra big one here called a jumbo sousaphone. Can we see that? Over here on the right. T-Rex of sousaphones, right? And now we also have a miniature sousaphone. Can we see our mini sousaphone? There we go. And now a style of euphonium made famous by Meredith Wilson, double bell euphonium. Euphonium with a double bell. An early version of the tuba called an ophicleide. Can we see our ophicleide here? Off to the side. And now we also have an instrument that's somewhere between a French horn and a tuba called a Wagner tuba. We got a Wagner tuba here, you can see that. And now a tuba that's designed for people who like to travel but still practice, a pocket tuba. Can we see our pocket tuba? So you can see that there is a tremendous variety of instrument styles and shapes within the tuba community. We're going to continue now with Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Number 26, I think I mentioned that. Number 10 is next. So our next selection is about a town far, far away, a place called Bethlehem. So we like to take this moment to recognize members of our ensemble that have traveled a great distance to be here. So we have, largely because this event takes place during the week of the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic, we are fortunate in that we have a lot of people who happen to be in Chicago for that event. So we often get people from all around our country. And I understand we have some participants here from Hawaii. So if you're here from Hawaii, would you please stand? Very good. But wait, there's more. This is an international crowd. We have someone here from Australia. And Argentina in the house.
That's so cool.
A little town of Bethlehem. Number 17 is next. Number 17. So we've been so impressed with your singing this morning that we're going to give you a chance to really shine on this next one. So this is Angels We Have Heard on High, and as is typical, we'll play it once through for you, and then the second time I'll ask you to sing. When we get to the Gloria, we're going to drop out so we can really hear your beautiful voices, okay? So don't suddenly back off because we stop playing. We're getting out of the way so we can hear you, all right? This is Angels We Have Heard on High. Number 34 is next. Well, I knew we had some real singers in the crowd, so thank you very much for joining us in that glorious carol. We're going to continue now with Silent Night, and this is a carol that Harvey used to like to dedicate to first responders who do so much on behalf of all of us and give us sleep and heavenly peace. This is Silent Night. Santa Waltz is next. Well, as Harvey Phillips used to like to remind everyone, we tuba euphonium players know a little secret about Santa that is not known to many of us. I'm so pleased to be joined this morning by Santa himself to explain what that secret is.
I came from all the way from the North Pole, Colonel. Now we all know Santa brings toys to all the good girls and boys. Why, he's done it for years and years. But who would have thought that Santa has got a special wish of his own? Would you like to hear the story? Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. He knows my tuba is fun. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. Who's going to give him one? Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. Bright shiny tuba to play. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. Please send one his way. Well, Santa knows the tuba blows the jolliest sound from here. When he loves to see waving under his tree, the tuba waving his desert. Well, Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. He never got a present before. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. It's all that he's ever asked for. It's all that he's ever asked for. Oh, can you just see Santa coming back and delivering all the toys to the good girls and boys? Why, we all know he's done it for years and years. He finally gets home to his place in the hall, sits by the fire, puts his feet up. He looks over at the tree, and under the tree is a big box. It says for Mrs. Claus to Santa. He goes over to the box, opens it up, finds a shiny tuba, and does he play? Go Santa. Well, Santa got a tuba. Santa got his tuba for Christmas. It's all that he's ever asked for. It's all that he's ever asked for. Well, Santa got a tuba in his stocking this year.
Let's take another round of applause for Santa. And our soloist, TubaChristmas. Number 28 is next. So a little secret about Santa's costume. You may have noticed it's a little different than his usual costume. It's got tubas on it. And Santa actually borrowed that costume from Harvey Phillips himself. That is the outfit that was made for Harvey when he started doing TubaChristmas all those years ago. So just a little more history about, yes, absolutely, a little more history about TubaChristmas. I mentioned that it was the creation of Harvey Phillips in honor of his teacher, Bill Bell, who was born on Christmas Day of 1902. Many of the arrangements that you're hearing were done by Alan Wilder, who was a great friend of Harvey's, a wonderful composer and jazz musician. And in an odd twist of fate, Alan Wilder actually passed away on Christmas Eve of 1989. So TubaChristmas has really become a tribute to both of those gentlemen, of course, as well as Harvey Phillips. Our next selection, Low How a Rose Air Blooming. We're going to do one time. What's that? I'm sorry, 21 is next. 21. Sorry about that. 21. Low How a Rose Air Blooming. We're going to do this one time. No singing involved. I encourage you to just listen to the wonderful music that we are offering in tribute to Harvey and Bill Bell and Alec Wilder, and to reflect perhaps on mentors in your own life who have made such a difference for you. This is Lo, How a Rose Are Blooming. Now, number 28. So I've talked about how different all of these instruments are, but there's one thing that they have in common. They all have a bell, some kind of a bell to help amplify their sound. Now some of those bells point straight up, some of them point straight out, some of them point off to the side, but that is one thing that all of these instruments have in common. So with that in mind, we would like to offer you Carol of the Bells with our own unique take on this. Again, there's no singing on this one, but we ask you to enjoy the music. This is Carol of the Bells. Number 33 is next. Number 33.
Sam.
So, we're nearing the end of our program. We're going to have a little bit of different type of audience participation for our next selection, Jingle Bells. And I'd like to ask if there are any young people in the audience that would like to come up to the front of the stage to help us lead the sing-along. We're going to have Mr. Tom Phillips, son of Harvey Phillips here, who's going to help lead this sing-along.
Do you think my
And
brother
don't be shy, come on down. Mr. Phillips is going to help you to know exactly what to sing.
My brother got 20 bucks and I just played the piano at home.
You guys can come up on the stage. Come on. Yes. Welcome. Are you guys having a good time? Keep coming, folks. You guys come on right here. There's plenty of room, so come over here. Mr. Phillips is going to join us here. He's probably working his way toward the front. Wonderful. There he is. Now, this is a very special version of Jingle Bells. So you're going to hear it start with the music that we associate with Jingle Bells, but then right in the middle is going to be a marching parade right through Santa's village. So you're going to just listen to the music then, but be ready to come back in. And again, Mr. Phillips is going to help you to know when that happens. This is Jingle Bells.
Merry TubaChristmas, everybody.
What? Not on the outside.
Number 14 is next. So we're closing in our last couple of hymns, but I'd like to...
Sam, unless you
Carol,
engulf
I should
it.
say,
Do you
but I'd like to
engulf
take a moment to
it?
thank
Do
the
you engulf
players
it?
who are assembled here behind me.
Like
Yes. So I found myself in the lobby this morning taking care of some hotel business at around 7 a.m. and I saw my first tuba player and I thought, here they come. And they have been arriving all morning long, showing tremendous patience. As you might imagine, the registration process takes a little while. You have 335 musicians. And then, of course, schlepping their instruments and cases and music and all that kind of stuff. But they always do so with such great spirit and such great musicianship. So can we hear another round of applause for our wonderful musicians? Take a bow, guys, take a bow. So our next carol is Joy to the World, and we like this one so much we do it 3 times, and we invite you to sing along with us both the second and third time. Joy to the World.
It's up there. It's so up there.
Number 23. So we're going to wrap things up here in just a moment, but before we do so, I want to thank a few people. First of all, the management of the Palmer House. We are so grateful. Yes, absolutely. We are so grateful for their hospitality and generosity in allowing us to do Tuba Christmas here every year in Chicago. I also want to say thank you to Tom Phillips and his hardworking crew. Tom is the son of Harvey Phillips, so this is definitely a family tradition for the Phillips. And he's got a great bunch of people who help him put this event on. As I mentioned, the registration process for Tuba Christmas of this size is really an ambitious undertaking. So I want to say a word of thanks to Mr. Phillips and his crew. Can we hear a round of applause for that? And last but certainly not least, I want to say thanks to all of you for joining us for this event. We tuba euphonium players know why we love Tuba Christmas so much, but it means so much to us to see audiences like you who really get into the spirit of this very unique, use that word one more time, event. It is, I think, really one of the most fun ways to get into the holiday spirit, and we're so happy and grateful for that you joined us here today. We're going to finish things off with a special version of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. You don't have to do any singing on this. In fact, we're going to sing for you at the end, and I want you to listen to the lyrics very closely because we wish you a Merry Christmas in a very tuba kind of way. This is We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
high as possible. I'm higher than a kite. Like Quentin.
Thanks for joining me on this first annual TubaChristmas Euphonium Camp.